because
when the government interferes with anything, they
but
mess
especially
everything
nutrition,
up.
right? Fasting is the best way to harness this innate intelligence within the body, this inner physician.
So do you stack up though? Like you eat heavy those 6 hours? Do you like eat light and then you finish with a heavy meal?
They die at 75 years old, but when they die, it's just a formality. They've been dead for most of their life.
Welcome, Ben, to Saudi Arabia. This is actually my first ever podcast that I ever shoot with anyone. And honestly, it's an honor, a pleasure. Since we're both Middle Eastern, we're here in Saudi. Is it your first time, right? Here in Saudi?
Yeah, Middle Eastern, parents are from Iran. First time in the Middle East that I'm here with you. I'm honored to be the first guest on your podcast.
Honestly, the honor is all mine. I'm happy. And also, we both live in Miami. For us to come from Miami all the way to Saudi to shoot this first podcast together, it really gives me a smile. I'm very happy, very honored, and I want to kick it off with you. So tell me, how was your experience so far from you, like from the first time I reached out to you that I wanted you to come here to Saudi, to actually coming here, getting yourself on a plane, flying all the way here. I wanted to know, like, what was your expectations? Were they met? Was it like underwhelming, overwhelming? What was your feeling? I want to know, like, really, truly what you felt. Listen, this is an open arena. I want you to talk your heart. I want you to talk your mind. Please, from your brain to your lip, let it out. There's no hard feelings at all. If you tell me, Mazen, you did a horrible job, I'll be like, Ben, thank you. I'll try to do better next time. But I want to know exactly, honestly, what you felt.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. It's cool to be in Saudi. It's kind of surreal. I was telling my mom that I was going to go to Saudi, and she couldn't believe it. She was really happy for me. I haven't even been to Iran, right? So Saudi is the first place in the Middle East. I was really looking forward to it. So every month I do about 1 to 2 speaking engagements. It's what I do. I'm a keynote speaker, usually in the U.S. I've been to some areas, but never this far, never in the Middle East. So I was a little bit, I was nervous about getting on an airplane and flying all the way to Turkey, then Turkey to here. Never been on that long of a flight. But I have to say, like, once I got off the plane, I was welcomed with somebody holding a Zenos sign. They escorted me to the car. I've been taken care of, and I appreciate that because it's a new territory to me. So I love that you set it up for the speakers to be taken care of. And we're here at this beautiful property, and it's this whole area. You know, when I got in around midnight a couple nights ago, as they were driving me into the hotel here, I was looking at all the shops and the restaurants, and it was packed.
Yeah, it gets crazy at night. Yeah.
Midnight on a Tuesday.
Yeah, Saudis love to go out late.
I didn't realize
they're not
that.
early risers at all.
Yeah, because I walked around during the day and it was empty.
Yeah.
And then at night, I was like, wow, there's a vibe here. And then I get to the hotel, check in, and yeah, we're in day 2, right? Yesterday was day 1. I got to deliver my keynote. It was a very different experience for me. And that's not different in a bad way. It's different in a cool way because the audience is maybe 80%, 90% from the Middle East. And then maybe 10% from the U.S.
By the way, you killed it. Like,
Thank
honestly,
you.
like today at breakfast, I heard it like from 6 different people, and also Jennifer, who's on our team.
Yeah.
She's like, Ben killed it, because she's like walking around and hearing what people were saying yesterday. They were all like, wow. Like, that was like seriously, perfect.
Well, I'm grateful to hear that because
Listen, you deserve it. You did a great job, like, honestly, like, because you put your heart into this. It's not like you're reading off a teleprompter or like getting there with no emotions. You really, because you love it. Like, it comes out genuine. And I feel like now in like these times, people, like audience, they can sense fakeness, they can sense phoniness. Like they can know right away if someone's being genuine or if someone like trying to like wing it or fake it, right?
That's true.
No, you come across as genuine, someone that believes in the craft, believes in your craft and what you do and what you're like, you live it, like you live what you preach. You're not someone that's like an hypocrite, like just, oh, do this and meanwhile you're doing something else. No, like that shows, and I love that about you.
Thank you, brother.
No, seriously.
I appreciate that. Well, it was an honor. You know, the audience, it was different. And there were things in my presentation that I was thinking, should I share this? It's a little bit different, the culture here and the culture there. So I'll give you an example. And I rehearsed that presentation like over 100 times.
Wow.
Like I take it very serious. I was in my room before, like going over the slides. I want to make sure I have it. I wanted to make a shift for that entire audience. I didn't want to just go on there and show studies and slides. I wanted to shift the entire room. So I rehearsed this and I practiced it. And there was a slide I had from South Park. You know the TV show
Yeah, I
South Park?
love South
Yeah,
Park.
we love it as
There's
Americans,
a
but I had it in there. I'm like, do they know South Park? So I actually asked the audience before I was going to show the video, how many of you know the TV show South Park? And if like only 2 people raised their hand, I was not going to show the video. But like 60% of the people raised their hand. So I played the video, and it's a clip from like 12 years ago, essentially making fun of the U.S. guidelines for nutrition and saying it's upside down, flip it, and we got the right. And everybody was cracking up, and I'm like, cool, they get it. Like they understand it. When the government interferes with nutrition, like they do in the
Well,
U.S.,
the government
it's a
interferes with
yeah,
anything, they
but
mess
especially
everything
nutrition,
up.
right? And I was looking at some of the obesity rates and disease rates in the Middle East and Saudi. They're not too far behind the U.S.
No, they're I think Saudi are I think top two, but obesity and diabetes.
Yes,
There's a huge problem. That's why with what Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is doing, he wants to shift the paradigm because he knows there's a huge problem, and now 70% of their population are 30 and under. So if he doesn't, yeah,
really.
no, it's a very young society. And if he doesn't switch the behavior from now, they won't be able to take care of their people as they get older, because he sees the chronic conditions that are happening to the older generation here. So this is like a must for them, and that's why they're spending so much money on this stuff, on longevity, China, and wellness, because they want to really push young Saudis to change their behaviors and habits so they can be able to afford their healthcare. So it's like that's like a must to them.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. Yeah. So, and as I was driving in here, getting I saw all the restaurants: Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's. They have all the fast
Yeah,
food
yeah.
restaurants. We've brought all the junk here, unfortunately, and that's part of the reason why their obesity is up, the disease is up. But that's why the conference is so important. This is the first one in Saudi, right?
Yes, to this level,
To
yes.
this level, right? And it's making people aware, which is the most important thing. And then once you're aware, you can make a better decision. And I believe everybody that's attending here is getting all this amazing information. They're going to apply it, then they're going to share it with their community, and then it's this ripple effect, right? So
Exactly.
it's been awesome. To answer your question, I love being a part of it. I'm excited about day 2. It's a different audience for me, and I'm grateful because I want to deliver the message to the masses, and I know you do as well. So to have the opportunity to come to Saudi in the Middle East and share my message, where I'm sure a good percentage of the people didn't even know who I was until I showed up, I'm grateful for that, and I'm glad I made a difference for them.
Well, like I said, listen, when like I decided on doing this is because I wanted first to I'm Lebanese, right? So I'm also Middle Eastern. I was born in New York, but I was raised in Beirut. So I had always had the luxury of going to the States because my dad used to work in the US. So I was born with an American passport. So travel was never an issue, but I was raised in Beirut. So I feel like I'm Lebanese as much as I'm American, right? So I lived the last 30 something years of my life in America, but I still always connect to this part of the world. I love this part of the world. I love the culture. I love everything about it. So when I decided I wanted to do this, I didn't want to do another one in the US or in Europe. I feel like there's so many of them and everyone compete with each other. And I feel like for example, we were talking earlier before the camera started rolling, like pneumonia and the one in Tampa, right?
Yeah, hack your health. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's happening at the same time, the same day. So I feel like the message gets lost there, right? Because no one knows, like, oh, I wanted to go here, I wanted to go there, but you end up like have to pick and choose.
That's
I
right.
wanted to do something. No, I don't want people to pick and choose. I wanted to come here, give them the best of the world, set the level up so high. And like you were saying, like we need to do the biggest outreach possible. People are hungry for this information. People want to live, like to change their habits. They want to like learn. They want to be educated. And this is why I wanted to and build this platform, not just a summit. I want to be an education piece, an information piece. I want the message to go out as big as possible, reach the smallest communities in all the Middle East, because I feel that we can make an impact, and we can like do change, and let people know that there is hope, and you don't need to spend 30, 40, or $50,000 a year on, or even more, to try to live the longevity. Like, I want them to know that there are other options, there are cheaper options. Like, go outside, be part of a community, like exercise, like eat healthier, like don't eat your seed oils, like eat olive oil, for example. Like get these small tips that people don't know, right? And you don't need to spend money, and this is why I wanted to do this. And I thank you honestly for coming. And I wanted to ask you, like, I know you always love you always talk about like the missing, like, gratitude, right, with
Yeah.
people, like it's a missing hormone, right, the G hormone, is
Yeah.
that what you call
I
it?
call it vitamin G. Yeah.
Vitamin G,
Yeah.
right? So what is vitamin G to you? Like, explain to people what vitamin G and how it applies to Ben's life.
Yeah, I love the question because it's free, as you mentioned, and it has all of the benefits, if not more, than expensive biohacks. Vitamin G is the feeling of gratitude. I call it a vitamin because it kind of acts like a supplement. I mean, there's numerous studies that show when you take or when you feel gratitude, it puts your body in this anti-inflammation state. It lowers your stress levels. It allows you to feel more relaxed. It allows you to feel more grateful. And it's a universal law, Mazen. Like whatever you put energy into, expands. So, in other words, what you appreciate, gratitude appreciates. And a lot of people don't live in gratitude, that they're living in resentment and hate and fear and anger. That also expands when you feed energy into
Of
that.
course, yeah.
And if you're living in that state, every single cell in your body is listening to that conversation you're having with yourself. Hateful thoughts, angry thoughts, and you're changing your cellular structure based off of those 60,000 thoughts that you have every day. So if those thoughts could be healthy thoughts, you change your cellular structure to be anti-inflammatory. So for me this morning, I woke up, before I looked at my phone, before I did anything, I have my notepad, I write down my gratitude, I write
Oh, I
down my
love that.
goals, and I'm just getting the vitamin G. It's free. Get it anytime, take as much as you want, and it's going to benefit you every single time you take it.
I love that. Like me, when I'm stressed, like I wish I can be more like religious in a way.
Today's episode is brought to you by Zenos, the science-backed longevity brand that is redefining what modern health can look like. Every formula is built with clinical doses, standardized extracts, and real research, not the fairy dust you see in most supplements. From mood and metabolism support to cellular and gut health, Zenos blends ancient compounds with cutting-edge clinical science. If you care about living longer, living better, you'll want to explore what real formulation looks like. Learn more at zenoshealth.com.
When I go to church, I feel so much at peace with myself. This like crazy, like humbling, where I feel like every cell trembles, honestly. Yeah. There's this place in Lebanon that every single time I go, I must visit. It's Saint Sherbel. It's up in the mountains in Anneya in Beirut. Saint Sherbel is the patron saint of Lebanon. He's one of like, he's done so many miracles. I don't know if you've ever looked him up or
No, I
heard the
haven't.
name and stuff. If you have some time, like read up on him. It's Saint Sherbel. He does miracles left and right, doesn't discriminate between Christian, Muslims, or Druze. Anyone that prays for him, believes in him, he comes and help, and he's done so much. So I was telling you, like every time I go up to his monastery up in the mountains, this sense of calm, this sense of like uh, enlightenment that I feel. There's only few places that I felt that in the world. One of them is Our Lady of Guadalupe in Mexico City. So this is a true story that happened to me. So my wife, Elena, was pregnant with my second child, Valentina. So she was 8 months pregnant, and I had a business trip to Mexico City. And I always wanted to go to Our Lady of Guadalupe. It was my first time ever in Mexico City. And so I tell my friend, I'm like, please take me. He's like, no problem. So we planned the day. I would drive. It's about 20 minutes out of Mexico City. The minute I walked in, this ground where this, like, it's such a sacred ground. It's where the Virgin Mary appeared to a Mexican peasant, and that was the transformation of Mexico to become like super Catholic and stuff. But there's a huge story behind it. You can also, if you want to read, it's very interesting. So the minute I walked in, you feel the ground like connects with you in a way where your whole every cell in your body just like feels alive. So that's why, going to your point, like gratitude, like you write, maybe I should start writing also. Maybe I should get into, because I'm still old school. I love everything from work. Like I don't put anything on my phone as my calendar. I if I do, forget it. I'm like triple booking people. I don't pay attention. I'm not like that. I'm an old soul. I like to write on pen and paper. My calendar, I have this big book.
No way.
I swear to God, I have my big book, and I keep writing because I love to see.
Yeah.
I'm a visual person. I love to feel. I love to see, and this is how I connect with things, right? So maybe I should really like.
I think it'll make a big difference for you. Based off of what you shared, there's a feeling that you can't explain. And gratitude is a feeling, by the way. Gratitude is not a practice. It's a feeling. It's the same thing you just described with those two different locations. It's a feeling that you get that you can't even put into words. You get that with gratitude. And I recommend you write it down. Look, I have these notebooks that I probably have like 30 of them just filled with gratitude and goals, because I haven't missed a single day since like 2015.
That's amazing.
And not every single morning.
So what made you start in 2015? What was that point in Ben's life that, you know what, I need to start doing this because this is what will get me to a point where I want to be in my life? Obviously, that point never ends unless you have no goals. And I feel like you are very goal-driven,
100%.
goal-oriented. I feel like you want to accomplish more things in your life. But what was that point in your life that said, you know what, Ben, get your ass, start doing different things, and like, let me start writing? So was it someone that recommended doing this? Was it a mentor that you met that made you aware? Can you tell us like what made you get to that point?
It was a mentor. It was Bob Proctor. Do you know who Bob Proctor is?
No.
Have you heard of that? Yeah,
No.
he's passed on now, but I believe he's the greatest self-development prosperity teacher in the history of this world. You got to check him out.
I'll
Bob
100%
Proctor.
check him out.
He's the GOAT.
Okay.
And he started explaining universal laws. And one of those laws is what I explained: what you feed energy into expands. And gratitude was a big part of that. And I started studying like how gratitude changes your brain. It rewires your brain, literally rewires your brain. And when you practice it consistently, now all of a sudden all the things that you're stressing out about, the problems, they're now opportunities, and you become grateful for them. And when you could take a stressing into a blessing, it's like the ultimate gratitude. So I knew that if I just kept feeding my subconscious mind with gratitude every day, and I just start feeling gratitude, writing down gratitude, it will change my state. And it did. You know, it helped me set more goals. It helped me think bigger. And at that time, I was starting to think bigger. You know, it's funny, because at that time is when I set a goal to reach 1 billion people with a B.
Wow.
And this is when I just started speaking, 2014, 2015. And I was speaking in front of 5 people, 10 people, like grocery stores, different like offices. I was just trying to get my feet wet. And I would come
Makes
on.
the journey so much better when you start low.
Oh, so low,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. There's a couple funny stories to that, which I'll share. Like one of them is that when I started speaking in front of people, I would say, "Hey, my name's Ben Azadi, and I'm on a mission to educate and to inspire 1 billion people." And I would say that because I had this goal, and people would laugh at me. Like,
Listen, people are just evil.
oh, I
Like,
get it. Yeah. But it's like they would like, did you say billion with the B? Yes, that is my goal, right? They're not laughing now because we're like,
Yeah.
we've reached
Oh,
hundreds of millions of
that's
people,
amazing.
right? We're on our way.
How far are you?
Probably like half a billion right now. Probably 500 million. Yeah.
That is
Just with the
amazing.
YouTube channel, it's like 100 million people
That's
we've reached.
amazing,
Yeah. So
honestly. Congrats.
Thank you, brother. So to answer your question, I started thinking bigger, and so many people think so small, and they set such small goals. And
I can tell you a lot of people that think this.
Oh my God, 97%.
One of them is actually here, but we're not gonna name. We're not gonna name any names here.
We gotta
And
expand.
I know Moain is actually laughing right now over there. So
you just named them.
no, Moain, my producer, he's
okay.
laughing because he knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Okay, I love it. Well, yeah, it's so important. And I actually lectured about this at your event yesterday. I was talking about goal setting and how the people who have really ambitious goals, they live longer. And I believe a lot of people are not tired because they're unhealthy. I think they're tired because they're uninspired.
Exactly.
They're not
That
setting
goes also.
goals.
Did you see the first speaker, Walid Fitehi,
I didn't know.
yesterday? He was talking about that. Is that people people don't have that self worth, and they don't think that they belong or they are like worthy. But he was saying that our body is a vessel, like it's a gift that was given to us, like we need to like take care of it, and we need to like be inspired. Like you have to have inspiration, you have to have self-worth to like really push yourself.
That's right.
And I love that you have it. I love that you like, I want to educate 1 billion, you're halfway there. So
Yeah, let's go. He's right, by the way.
yeah.
It's an inspiration is different than motivation, by the way. Motivation is external, and you have to constantly get it to do the thing you want to do. That's not long lasting. You have to do it every day, like taking a shower. Inspiration is from within. It's when you're in spirit. That's
Yes.
inspiration. That's different. That's when you're living on purpose with your purpose. Like you are in spirit right now. Like you have this event, you have this vision. Like I'm sure it's challenging. I saw you yesterday, like in the middle of it, you were a little stressed out. But at the end of the day,
Dead.
like, yeah, yeah. But at the end of this conference, you're going to have so much gratitude, and then you're going to be thinking, all right, let's think about the next one, right? That's going to
Yes,
be your
well,
thought.
exactly.
Yeah, you're probably already thinking about that.
No, actually, this morning we were called into a meeting at 7 a.m. from a different country that are really pushing. I don't want to name names right now, but
It's awesome, bro.
yeah, they're like, you need to bring this, like you need to bring this, and I'm like, okay, just let me breathe till Sunday. I just want Sunday I want sleep on Sunday, and then like start thinking about the next one. So
That's exciting, though, right? Because you're an example of that. But unfortunately, I think 97% of people, not just in the U.S. but across the world, do not live on purpose with their purpose. They die at 75 years old, but when they die, it's just a formality. They've been dead for most of their life, meaning they didn't live 75 years. They lived 1 year 75 times. And that's not exciting. They're depressed. They're doing drugs. They're medicating themselves because they don't have purpose. And I lived like that for 24 years. I was obese physically and
really,
mentally. Yeah, I was obese for 24 years. I had addictions to drugs and video games and sugar because I didn't have any goals. I didn't have any purpose. So I lived that myself, bro.
oh, I didn't know that. Well, you look amazing now.
Thank you.
Look,
Yeah, that was 18 years ago.
you look, you look amazing.
Thanks.
I never like when I was younger. Also, like I felt like because my parents were never the sporty parents. They never like pushed us. So I kind of like I taught myself how to play tennis. I taught myself how to ski, how to snowboard. I used to
Wow.
play water polo. Like everything with me was like self thought. Because I wanted to be better. I wanted to like really like push the envelope and make myself better. So this is why now like I try to push my kids because my parents didn't push me, but I want to push them in things they like, because like a lot of people, I think they live through their kids. Like for example, I have a really good friend of mine, but like he goes crazy with his kids. He wants them to be the best at this, the best of that, and then the kids like dad, like we don't want this. We feel that you're doing this for
him,
you.
yeah.
No, I like that's why I want my kids to really love what they do, because my dad never gave me that like the push. So I want them I want them to do what they want, but I want to be their support system. I want to push them, to support them, support what they want to do in life, because I didn't have that growing up. My dad was like, take money and leave me alone. So that was like the extent with my relationship with my father. He's the nicest man, kindest heart ever. In a way selfish, because I think not because he wanted to be selfish in a way. I think because growing up he grew up very poor. So he didn't have anything, and at the age of 7 years old he used to go to school and then he has to work. Like he would work
Wow.
and like sell and stuff, but thank God like he made himself. Like
Is he still alive?
he's still alive. He had a stroke, but he had a stroke 12 years ago. So he's kind of like not very mobile now, but he's up there, completely up there, alive. We're very grateful. He went through prostate cancer, then had the stroke and stuff. So he had a little challenges. He didn't live a healthy life. But he always was super kind with us. But his love to us was take money and do what you want, because he didn't have that growing up from his parents, because his parents were poor. Like, so let me tell you originally where, like, his story. So originally we're from Turkey. My dad's side of the family were from Turkey, from a place called Mardin, which is the southeast of Turkey. And during the World War One, when the Armenian genocide was happening, they had to run away from Turkey into Syria. But back then there wasn't Lebanon, Syria. It was like one territory. So as he came down from Turkey into Syria, there was the British and the French army coming in to attack the Ottomans. So he was a tailor in Turkey. So when the British army came, he's joined them and he became the tailor for them.
Wow.
Yes. So he used to do the suits for the officers.
Wild.
And our last name was not Karnaby. It was, his last name was Nasri. And when the war ended, and then when the French divided this whole area between Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Palestine, like, they drew out Lebanon. Before it was Mount Lebanon, and now they became Lebanon. So my grandfather went and registered in Lebanon, and they became Lebanese. We were like the first 26 families registered in Beirut. Like,
wow.
Yeah, because on our, in Lebanon, on our ID, they tell you the documentation number, like your record number. So it's like 26. It's one of the first families that actually like registered. But when they asked him, what is your name? The British gave him the nickname Karnaby, because
way.
Carnaby Street in London, that was the fashion street. So they used to call him
Wow.
Karnaby, Karnaby, Karnaby. So when he went to Beirut and registered, they're like, what is your name? He's like, Salim Karnaby. And that's how our last name became Karnaby. Our last name is not Arabic at all, but it was a nickname given to him. So that's like kind of
That's
like,
cool.
that's a background.
What a background.
Of our story. So
Wow.
settled in Lebanon, and then my mom also has a very similar story but her father ran away from Turkey, but went to Iraq. So they settled in Iraq. But then he ended up marrying my grandfather, a Lebanese woman, and that's how he ended up living in Lebanon. And my mom was born there, and then my dad and her got met. Like, they
Wow.
met and got married. And
That's
this
amazing.
is like a quick like recap of our family.
That's so cool. I got to meet your mom a couple.
Oh
nights
yeah, my
ago.
mom's here.
She's here. She's so sweet.
Yeah, she's so like proud of us. Like to put it, like, because I don't think none of my family understood what I wanted to do with this summit and what was my vision. They saw me disconnected from them for the last 4 months, because it got to a point where like I couldn't, like, I was like on the phone constantly, 5 a.m. to 1 a.m. because I wanted to catch Saudi in the morning, and I wanted to catch Saudi also in the morning, and then I had work in between my US work, because I still own pharmacies and I still have to like operate those. So I was like a constant battle, especially like even this summer when we went away on a vacation with my family. I didn't really I couldn't spend time with them because I was constantly on the phone. So my wife wants to like chop me, like she wants to chop my head off. But she's here, and she was like, oh my God, like, Mazen, now I know like how disconnected you were from us. Like, cause she was like yelling at me all the time before, like, you don't call me anymore. You don't ask about me. I barely get a WhatsApp message from you. I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry. I promise you after the 26th, you'll get me back. Cause me and my mom are very close. Like when I was born, I had a heart murmur. So she went through hell with me, because she would like take me to every cardiologist every week and like testings and all that. So she got really attached to me. She always thought, oh my God, like I got to take care of him. So we have a special bond. And my brother gets a little annoyed. He's like, go to your special son. Go to your special son. Don't ask me. So there's always like
I
a
love
little
it.
bit. Yeah.
Middle Eastern moms are the best.
Oh, woof. I love them. Like, it's.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I have a special relationship with my mom.
So how is
too.
your
Yeah.
relationship with your mom,
I
your
love it.
parents?
Yeah.
Like,
My dad's passed. He passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. It's part of the reason why I'm passionate about what I do, because he died from the complications of diabetes back in 2014. But it also was, a blessing in itself, because it really lit a fire inside of me, because it was all preventable and reversible, but I didn't understand it back then. My mom's still around, thank God, and I
That's
love
awesome.
her. I talk to her on the phone every single day, even though she lives in Miami. She lives in Bay Harbor,
Ah, okay.
and
Close to me.
yeah, close to you. And every Thursday, me and my fiance drive to her apartment, and she makes us this nice Persian feast, right? Fosunjan or kebab, and I see her every Thursday when I'm in town.
I
But I
love
talk.
Persian food.
That's
So
so
next time
good.
your mom wants to cook for you, if you want to invite
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
I would
We'll
love
invite you.
that.
Yeah,
I
you
would
would
love that.
love her
Yeah,
food. Absolutely
I
love her.
love that.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Okay.
So I have a really close relationship with her. She's been such a super supporter. I drove her crazy when I was a kid. I was such a bad kid. I was so into drugs, into different things, and skipping school. She was working 3 jobs just to like pay the bills. My dad and my mom got divorced because they had an arranged marriage in Iran.
Yeah.
And when they came to the U.S., they got a divorce. So my dad was similar to your dad, where I saw him every week, but he gave me some cash, and he didn't really like raise me and teach me sports and teach me values. So very similar.
I think it's that was how people
That
lived
was their
back then.
culture.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the culture.
and it was just passed down. So my mom really raised me and my sister, and I love her. Like she's so special to me. One of the things I want to do for her next year, I want to buy her a house. Like I want to get her
That's amazing.
Like that's my goal to do that in 2026. Get her a house, surprise her in Surfside. She loves Surfside. But I say all that because moms are so special.
This podcast is powered by Zenos, supplements designed with real ingredients that actually work. No underdosing, no fillers, just real standardized compounds backed by longevity research. Try Mood Zen, Burn Zen, Cell Zen, or Gut Zen, and experience the difference that science makes.
Like I feel like moms are a blessing. Like the love of a mother is irreplaceable.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Unconditional.
irreplaceable. No one feels your pain, feels like your emotion. They can just look at you and understand you. I feel like we're so connected to our mothers, and sometimes I laugh at people that say, "Oh, I don't talk to my mom. Oh, my mom is a
Yeah, it's too bad. Because
like
then when their mom's gone, they're gonna
they're
regret
gonna
that.
regret it."
It's so true. Uh, my mom, she was worried about me flying to Saudi. She was like, I couldn't sleep. She's like, I'm such a mama's boy. She was like texting me 7 hours. She's like, it drives her crazy. 7 hour difference. She's like, make sure you text me when you wake up. And I don't mind that. Like, I love my mom, and she's just such a super supporter. She was at the book launch party that you attended.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
she was
Yeah.
there. That,
I would
but
love to meet her.
yeah, I'd love to introduce her. She'll make a nice Persian dish for all of us. We'll bring your wife and even your kids. We'll bring them over.
Yeah, I would
Let's
love that.
feast it up. But yeah, so part of the reason why I am really so consistent and I show up and I want to reach the masses and I have that goal of 1 billion people is because of what happened to my dad. That goal came after my dad's passing. My dad had type 2 diabetes, which 60% of Americans have it or have pre-diabetes, and it's high here in Saudi and the Middle East. And then he suffered a massive stroke. Your dad had a stroke too.
Sorry.
My dad's stroke was massive, so it left him paralyzed, and he lost the ability to speak. And he was bedridden for 9 months. And I visited him multiple times in the hospital in Miami every week for 9 months. And eventually, August 12th, 2014, he passed away. And when he passed away, like I was angry, I was sad, I had all these questions because we followed the conventional path of medicine. He took his medication. He changed his diet. I took him to Publix supermarket every Tuesday, bought him the groceries his doctor suggested, made sure his medications were filled. Yet he suffered and he died.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Thank you, bro. But when that happened, I really took the health as a hobby to a passion and a purpose, and I started digging into the research, and then I started seeing how broken the medical system is. And I used to say that the system is broken. The system is broken. Actually, it's not broken. It's designed and running the way that it's operating.
It's all to make a profit.
Subscription business model,
of
right?
course.
Cash cow. Because I know an empty hospital bed doesn't pay their bills. I know that a cured patient is a lost customer. So in a way, I'm grateful that I went through that. Obviously, I want my dad to be here. I'd love for him to see all the things I'm up to these days. He's not. But I'm also grateful because I don't know if I would be doing what I'm doing today with the passion and the purpose if I didn't go through that pain.
Keep him here. Always
He's here. I have all the time.
Yeah, if you
brother.
keep him here, man, that is the fire that will light you up and keep you going. And hold on to that. Hold on to him, man. Like that's beautiful. Honestly, that's very inspirational. And I wish I could have taught my dad and spoke to him more to teach him better.
Yeah.
But right now he's at an age where like he's just stuck in his ways, stubborn as hell. Middle Eastern dad are
Oh, my
stubborn
dad was
as
so stubborn.
like he's like talking to this. It's like
Yeah.
nothing. But I'm glad, I'm grateful he's alive. Again, to your vitamin G.
Yeah.
I count my blessings in a way. But I feel a little sad because we live in America. He lives in Beirut with my mom. And I feel like I'm getting older, he's getting older, and I don't spend enough time with him. And that's why like they were saying that you have your kids for like 18 years and then after that like your kids like leave and they have their own lives and stuff. They tell you to spend as much time with them now. But I hope my son as he gets older, like I have a son and 3 girls, but I hope my son and my kids end up spending more time with me than I was able to do with my dad, because I feel guilty every single day that I don't get to see them. I don't get to spend time with them. I wish I can. And that is something that always, always in the back of my head, it kind of bothers me. It makes me, that's like one of the few things in life that makes me sad, is the ability not to see my parents every single day. And I hope that as my kids get older and I get older, that I keep them around and get to spend quality time with them. So that's like my wish in life,
Yeah,
you know?
I love it. I love that you're intentional with it. I'm sure that will happen because you're intentional with it. And it's cool to have a beautiful family, 4 kids, 3 girls and a boy.
Yeah.
That's special,
Thank
brother.
you. So you got engaged
Yeah,
recently.
and we're planning on having kids now.
That's amazing.
That's
So
the
when's the
goal.
wedding?
December. It's right
Oh
around the
yeah,
corner.
that's
Well, we're
awesome.
actually not having a wedding. We're getting
Oh,
married
okay.
and we're traveling. She didn't want a wedding. I didn't want a wedding. So it's like,
Better off save the money to spend it on a
yeah,
house or spend it on a
that and
vacation.
go to
like-
Italy for a couple of
because no
weeks. Yeah.
matter what you do in weddings, and this is like, I don't know if it's a Lebanese thing or a universal thing, you think that you put on the best possible event, like right wedding day, and you pay attention to everything, and there's always that one or two person, yeah, but they could have done this better.
Yeah.
They could have done this in a different way.
Whatever.
There's like they critique the hell of like, no, the hell of that.
Yeah. So we
Just
don't have to
go-
worry about that. Yeah, we're not gonna have a
Yeah,
wedding.
go
Yeah.
do you. Spend like go on a sick honeymoon and enjoy it.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
the plan.
Like
We'll go to Italy for a couple of weeks. Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, honestly, with that, with the marriage.
Thank you,
Like
brother.
and have fun, because listen, once you find that person that makes you complete, that is your support, that's like your vertebrae, I can say, you like just build on that and enjoy life.
Yeah, it's a blessing. You have that with your wife and family,
Yeah.
right? It's like to have that support, that rock. It's so special. Yeah, she's usually with me at most of my speaking gigs, although she didn't make it this time, but maybe she'll make it to the next one. We'll
Well,
get
I
her
hope
there.
so. Next year, get ready, because I definitely want to bring you
Let's
back
go.
next year
Yeah,
and
let's
like
go.
build, because I feel like your message, your energy, your fire really inspires people. Like I said earlier, people loved your talk. It was amazing. Your keynote was spot on. People loved it, and I wanna. I didn't get to see it myself because I was like being ping pong, but we definitely have the recording, and I definitely want to watch it.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for them to give me that, because I love to see it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Let's be honest, the supplement world is full of noise. So when I discovered Zenos, what stood out to me was the science. Every formula is created by expert formulators, using the ingredients and exact dosage found in research, not the cheap stuff that most brands get away with. Their saffron extracts, their adaptogens, and their longevity blend. Everything is standardized, tracked, and optimized for real results. If you want supplements that match your commitment to long-term health, check out Zenos.
So, since Ben, the expert, okay, the metabolic expert, that you did it on yourself, you changed yourself, actually the results are great. You can see you look amazing. You did an exceptional job, and like you said, your mission now is to reach the 1 billion people, right? So we're here in Saudi. We have a complete new audience that they never heard of the name Ben Azadi before, right? So can you tell them, what do you do on a daily basis to take care of yourself, and what is your message to them, to what is your recommendation to them? Like, what does Ben do for himself, and what would you like them to do to follow, at least to like even start that transformation for themselves?
Well, I would say the first thing is to take your health seriously. Don't treat it casually. If you treat your health casually, you're going to end up a casualty. You're going to be another statistic. So ownership and responsibility. It's really important. So take your health seriously, because it houses this soul that we live in, and you want to live on this beautiful planet as long as possible. Now, something that I talked about yesterday during the keynote is something I'm going to share here, because we have all these biohacks, and I love them. I have a whole bunch of them. Sauna, cold plunge, red light. You have a whole bunch of these amazing vendors. But there's something that is an ancient healing practice that I do every day, that I want your audience watching and listening to do every day, that is even more powerful than all the biohacks you have out there, and it's free. And that's fasting. Fasting is the best way to harness this innate intelligence within the body, this inner physician, when you remove food for a period of time. Because when you eat food, it takes a lot of energy. When you're done eating and you're finished digesting, you take all that energy towards healing. So your body cleans up damaged cells. You burn fat. You lower inflammation. You're more clear thinking. So a daily 18-6 intermittent fasting schedule is a great thing for most people to do, meaning for 18 hours out of a 24-hour period, you're in a fasted state. What does that mean? You have just water, coffee, tea, no food for 18 hours. Then you have a 6-hour window, let's say 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., whatever window you want, where you have 2 or 3 meals. You eat all your meals within those 2 or 3, the 6 hours.
So do you stack up though? Like you eat heavy those 6 hours? Do you like eat light and then you finish with a heavy meal? Like let's explain to the
best
people.
way. That's a good question. The best way to do it is to have your first meal being the biggest meal, and your last meal being the smallest meal.
Okay.
Now, socially, it's not the best option because you go to dinner. But if you ask what's the best way to do it, it's that way. But it doesn't really matter. You know, what's crazy about this recommendation I just gave, if your audience that's watching and listening right now didn't make any other changes, they didn't take supplements, they didn't do any dietary changes, they didn't exercise, they didn't do any biohacks, they just simply did what I just said. Eat the same meals within a 6-hour window and fast for 18 hours, no other changes, they would have more energy, better sleep, better digestion, better hormones, and they'll decrease their chances of diseases. Just that one simple thing. Now, if you add in dietary changes, exercise, biohacks, you get those results. But that one simple thing. And then on top of that,
and like you said, it's free.
It's free. You save money because you're probably going to eat less. On top of that, during the keynote, I had these slides where I showed, and you got to watch it when you watch the replay because it's super cool. I showed what happens inside of the body when you go without food for 100 hours, 4 days. Now, that's a little extreme.
Have you done that?
I've done 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wanted to try that.
Let's do it together.
I love that.
It's incredibly healing to the body.
I want to do that.
It's a complete
Tell
reset.
me when in Miami when we go back.
Okay.
I'm down.
Okay, deal.
We can record it. We can like and then showcase it.
Do you know Damon John, the Shark Tank guy?
Yes.
He follows my work, and he always shares my fasting stuff. And I was asking him, what's his longest fast? I think he said like 48 hours. And I'm like, dude, let's go for 72. Let's go for an hour. So he wants to do it too. So you might join us.
I would love that.
Yeah,
let's do it. Yeah, let's do it as a group.
It's like a reset button for your body, right? So I wouldn't recommend that for a beginner. I'd recommend doing a guide, and I'd guide you through it. But 18-6 daily, easy. All meals within a 6-hour window. Do that at least 5 days a week, and you'll get results. Very simple.
So we can cheat around on the weekend, right?
I mean, I would say feast instead of cheat. I like that word better. You could feast on the weekends.
Oh, I try. I love pasta and pizza, but I don't touch that. But a lot of times, like I look at a pizza, like for example, you go to Casa Tua in Brickell, and those pizzas coming out of the oven.
Yeah, it just smells amazing.
Oh my God!
Engineered to get you, bro. Yes. Dopamine hit.
The amount of self like restriction that I have on myself, like should I touch one? Should I touch one?
Yeah.
But I think 2 weeks ago I had one. I was like, fuck, this is good.
It's so good.
So good. So like that that pizza, I was like, you know what? I'm having it. It was me and Elena at Casa Tua in Brickell, and she hates cheese, my wife. I was like, fine, no cheese.
Really?
She doesn't eat dairy. She feels dairy doesn't suit her well.
For a lot of people, actually, like 75% of people, she's not alone. But when I'm presented with these like delicious meals that are not healthy, I'm always thinking about like the morning version of me, and I want to make the previous version, like the previous day of me, happy. And so that usually helps. Like, what would morning Ben say about this decision? If I decide to eat the pizza, he's probably going to be a little disappointed. But if I decide to skip it, he's going to be happy. And that kind of helps with those decisions. Yeah.
That's good. So, what you said you did 100 hours
Yeah.
of fast, right? So how was it day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4? Tell me. I want to prep myself mentally, and I'm sure our audience would be also like intrigued to know
Yeah.
what they would feel.
So I'm going to break it down, and the presentation that I did here at Zenos, I actually have it recorded, and I'm going to put it on my YouTube, so your audience can watch it as well. The first 14 hours, meaning you've gone 14 hours without food now. Pretty basic. Most people do that. 2 things happen. Number 1, you complete digestion. That's important because it takes a lot of energy to digest food. Blood flow, bandwidth. That's why when you eat a big meal, like that pizza example, after you eat a big meal, you're not energized.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like you're crashing. Like after Thanksgiving dinner, whatever. Like you want to sit on the couch and just crash. So when you're not digesting food, like the 14-hour mark, you've completed that. There's a process called energy diversion where you take energy, divert it away from digestion to the brain, to the heart, to areas of healing. So you get this process. Number 2, insulin drops, which is a hormone that stores fat. So as you drop insulin, you start to burn through your sugar reserves, which is in your liver and muscle cells. As you move to the 17-hour mark, now without food, you turn on a process called autophagy. And that simply means it's like Pac-Man going within your cells, cleaning out junk, cleaning out cells that are cancerous or precancerous that might turn into cancer. Your body eats that for fuel. It's one of the best ways to prevent diseases like cancer. So autophagy ramps up. Think of Pac-Man going within your cells. 24 hours without food, so 1 full day. Your body now, your digestive system produces what's called intestinal stem cells, and it really heals conditions like acid reflux, bloating, GERD, constipation. Any digestive issue starts to get healed. 30 hours in without food, the brain starts producing something called BDNF, which is miracle grow for the brain. So what essentially happens is you become so mentally sharp and you get all of this like focus and mental clarity because your body thinks you're going through a famine. It wants you to stay alive. So it pumps you full of energy and focus so you could go out there and hunt and kill. But you don't have to.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that happens automatically because we're hardwired for the old school. But you just use it to feel good. So you're more focused. Great for entrepreneurs, by the way. 36 hours in, you start crushing fat cells. The fat around your organs called visceral fat, your body starts pulling that fat. It produces ketones, which is anti-inflammatory. It's just incredible. 48 hours in, super cool. We suffer in this world with something called dopamine resistance.
Okay.
Dopamine is a hormone that is produced when you eat pizza, when you're scrolling on social media, when you're eating a lot of sugar. And the more dopamine you produce, the more dopamine you want, right?
Yep.
So
exactly.
you need more sugar, more pizza to get the same effect. Studies are showing, Mazen, that at the 48-hour mark of a fast, you resensitize the dopamine receptor sites in your brain.
Wow, that's
So you
amazing.
need less sugar, less social media, less pizza, and you're more happy and grateful with less of the dopamine hits. 72 hours in, studies are showing, like Dr. Walter Longo from California, shows that your immune system entirely regenerates itself. That Pac-Man process starts eating these what's called immunosenescent cells, and then it lowers your white blood cell count, and then it builds it back up with healthier cells. So that's important because the immune system is the front line defense system against cancer. So it upregulates this amazing process. And then you get to 100 hours. 4 days, 4 hours. This is when you get a stem cell surge. You have a lot of stem cell experts at this conference.
Yeah, there's Dr. Rafael Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, one of great friends of mine, a leading expert. I love him.
Yeah.
And he does a great job with stem cells. But you get a free surge of stem cells at the 100-hour mark. And those stem cells
So he definitely hates our message now.
No, he's all for it.
I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. His is more advanced, okay? He doesn't hate the message. I know him really well. He's a good friend. He does long fast too. But those stem cells, your body's so smart. It's incredible. Those stem cells are used for your liver, your kidney, your eyeballs, whatever the body thinks it needs it uses it. So it's an entire reset, man. I can't wait for you to do it with me.
I'm down.
Okay.
Sign me up.
We'll do it.
Let's make it as a group. Let's document it.
Let's
I
do it.
think it will be amazing because let's inspire people.
Yes, brother.
I think people need inspiration, just like how you have your dad and that inspires you every single day. That's like my melanoma diagnosis also inspired me to get into this whole wellness. I was always on the reactive side. My whole business is on the reactive side. You get sick, I sell medication. That's how
Right.
like, let's inspire people. I think we can. I think, especially now, also like Ramadan's coming, right?
That's right.
They fast a lot.
My mom does it every year.
Yeah.
That's a dry fast. That's
It
different.
is, yeah, that's harder.
No food, no water.
That's way harder
from
than what we.
sunrise to
So how
sunset.
does it? Do you think the water and the tea makes a difference, or it's the same effect that?
No. So the dry fast, you get 3 times more of that Pac-Man cleanup than
Really?
a water fast. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
3 times more. So you get 3 times the results essentially. So that means let's say a 24-hour dry fast, 24 hours without food or water, is equivalent to a 3-day water fast.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's extreme.
It is extreme.
So
It's
for
very
Ramadan,
hard.
it's about 12, 14 hours dry fast, which is
Yeah.
beneficial. My mom does it every single year.
Okay,
And when I was
so-
a kid, I used to get on her case, Mom, that is not healthy for you. It's not. What are you doing? Now I'm like, good job, Mom. This is amazing.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
very good, honestly. So looking forward when we go back to Miami to connect. Let's pick a day and let's pick a week in November.
Yes,
when
brother.
you have time, when you're not traveling, I'm there. Let's do it.
Let's do it,
Let's
brother.
sign up 5 people.
Let's go.
Right.
We'll get a lot more. We'll get
Okay,
a lot
that's
more.
awesome.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
That's awesome. Well, Ben, I want to thank you for coming here. It's been great, and I think my first podcast with you is
You did it.
I know.
Number 1. Let's go.
That's number one.
of
It's
many.
gonna go in the books. Hopefully, we can shoot many more, and I want to be honestly a closer friend to you. I love what you're doing, and since we live in the same city, let's try to put a little bit more energy to hanging out together and become closer.
We'll make
that
that.
would be an honor for
We
me.
will make that
honestly.
happen for sure. I
Perfect.
want to thank you for putting on this event, by the way. I don't know all the things that happen behind the scenes, but I know it's a lot. So it's an honor to be invited to it. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
There's going to be many more, even bigger and better. So congrats, my friend.
Thank you very much. Thank you.